And hello and welcome everyone to the comic multiverse Super Bowl special. I mean, the Super Bowl is on as we're recording this, but Matt and I don't really give a fuck about football. We care about the trailers, but it's only 10 o'clock as we do this, and not many of them have aired yet.
No, oh well, I've seen a fair few of them. We saw obviously the Han Solo one, the Infinity War one, that weird one where the Rock has to like save a building from exploding.
Isn't that just his everyday life?
Something like that. He's got to punch the building until it gives up or something.
Well, he's got to punch as many buildings as he can. He's got to get that out of his system for when he inevitably runs for president in 2020.
That's true. That's true.
Because apparently they don't let you punch buildings when you're president.
No, you just drop nukes on them.
You just drop nukes on, to which I'm sure Dwayne Johnson would be like, look, what if you drop me, the most electrifying politician in U.S. history? What if you drop me on the building, and then we'll see what happens. Sure, whatever you say, President Johnson. It's all you, buddy. So yeah, this was a weird week for news and just content in general for the show, because it was an annual week.
Yeah.
Is what it was, or because it's getting near the end of the month there, not everything came out, so we got a little to talk about. We'll do that. We got a little news, and if we need to, I asked a bunch of fans and they were nice enough to pitch questions.
Awesome.
Although hilariously, most of the fans who pitched questions to stuff we were just going to talk about anyway, so even if we don't get to your question, take solace knowing we talked about what you wanted to talk about. And I guess starting things off here, we have... Oh, what was the first thing I put on this thing? Oh, yeah, so not long after we did the show last week, the trailer dropped for Ant-Man and Wasp.
It did. It was kind of surprising as well, especially since we have, Black Panther coming out and then Infinity War. This movie's still a little way away.
It is, and I'm glad this trailer came out to remind people, hey, don't sleep on Ant-Man, everybody. Ant-Man was actually pretty solid, and they look to be growing it in really interesting ways for the sequel.
Yeah, they play up the whole fact that obviously he was a big part of Civil War. He was on the run after that, and that's how he is in this movie. He's under house arrest or something. He's got the ankle bracelet on and everything.
It's really nice that Wasp, she's like, so I had a suit and everything, right? And you didn't invite me to go to the big fight at the airport. Little nif that you didn't invite me. I mean, my suit has wings and I shoot repulsor blasts and everything. I'm not saying I'm better than you, but I'm probably better than you. That was good. Also, we got our first glimpse of the villain for the movie. I forgot that they had cast the Ghost for this, and the friggin' Ghost is going to be the villain.
Yeah, the Ghost. They've changed it. They made her female.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be crying any tears for the loss of whatever the dude Ghost is.
Those two Ghost fans are shocked.
They're shocked and appalled. They might end up just, friggin' boycotting the whole enterprise. I think it makes sense to have the Ghost, because obviously in the comics, the Ghost is a super thief and, corporate saboteur. Kind of makes him like a nice dark mirror to both Wasp and Ant-Man.
Yeah. Kind of, like an anti-Ant-Man. Like, he's everything that Scott Lang, or she's everything that Scott Lang isn't.
Exactly.
In terms of being a criminal.
Yeah, and plus too, having the Ghost, they could have a really great reveal in there to be like, oh, the Ghost was only working for someone else.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they'll probably be doing that.
I know a lot of people pitched a funny idea there where it's like, ooh, wouldn't it be fun if he was working for Justin Hammer?
That'd be pretty cool. Cool.
Our buddy Sal was pitching that, and I'm like, yes, please bring Sam Rockwell back into these movies. That would be nice.
Yeah. Also, in the first Ant-Man, one of those guys that originally was part of that original S.H.I.E.L.D. team with Peggy and everything, that bad guy, he got away. So he could be coming back.
That's right, he did too. Yeah, what's the current state of Hydra in the movies? That would be something.
Yeah.
That would be something to do. I know I keep pitching the idea. I really, really want the Ghost to be stealing parts for Ultron. I really want them to be like, oh, let's rebuild Ultron in these movies as an Ant-Man villain.
That'd be pretty cool.
kind of bridge the gap between those franchises. But I mean, all in all, it just looks really cool, really funny. They're doing a lot of fun stuff with the shrinking. I love that in this trailer, what is it? Pym shrinks down his entire building to take it with him, and in Flash this week, they also shrink down a building.
Yeah, and people were fine with the Flash one, but like went batshit insane over this Ant-Man one. I have no idea why.
People are weird sometimes. Also, I can only assume that, the price of Hello Kitty Pez dispensers went up hundreds and hundreds of dollars on eBay after the trailer aired.
Oh, definitely. And they're going to be making bigger ones that you can throw at people and motorcycles. And
I want one. Matt, I think I know what our field trip is going to be for this year. The comic multiverse field trip. Just throwing big, giant Pez dispensers at oncoming bikers. Hey, they have a big outlaw biker festival every year in Sturgis. Let's go there and throw Pez dispensers at them.
I'm sure they'll love that.
I'm sure they'll love it. I'm sure nothing will go wrong. And in the news today, 2 comic nerds got fucking curb stomped by a bunch of burly bikers for throwing Hello Kitty Pez dispensers at them. And the Darwin Award goes to...
But the movie did it and there was no consequences there.
Yeah, really. Ant-Man made it out fine. I liked who his daughter featured in the trailer again. I really hope the daughter keeps coming back because, obviously she got a lot older in between films. Here's hoping by Ant-Man 3 we can get some stature going on. Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be pretty cool. They might hint at it maybe this film. They like building up sort of stuff like that and hinting that she might get sick or something or yeah.
Because she says they're like, hey, Dad, you need someone to watch your back, obviously talking about Wasp. But in my mind, I'm like, no, you could do it. You could watch his back. You could be his sidekick. It'd be great. It'd be great. And then you could go and then you could start like a Young Avengers team. That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
That means we could get Kate Bishop and we could get, Hosea Bradley and all those other guys. Wouldn't that be fun? And maybe the Young Avengers movie will last longer than any Young Avengers run in the comics ever did.
That'd be pretty cool. Did you hear that Josiah Bradley was meant to be in Black Panther? Like Patriot. Was
he really?
Patriot, yeah. Ryan Coogler wanted Patriot, but they couldn't figure out how to make like him and... Because him and Black Panther have no real connection. They couldn't make it sort of like fit.
Well, that's the sequel right there. For Phase 5 or whatever, we start getting into the Young Avengers and start building them up all over the place. Like Black Panther comes to America and he meets Patriot Hosea Bradley. That would be fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
Hey, Mr. T'Challa, sir, I was writing a report on you for school. Can I interview you? Sure. Black Panther loves to do interviews. Man, can you believe we're going to get Black Panther at the end of the month?
Oh, it's like 2 weeks away.
Oh yeah, for you. We always do this for you. It's always sooner because Australia gets it to make up for all the other horrible bullshit when it comes to releases in Australia.
Yeah, it's actually next week, as I record this because I'm on Monday. Yeah.
I was gonna say tell me all about it, but then I'm like, no, don't tell me all about it. Let me stay in the dark about it until I can see it. Man, you think it's probably got a good chance to clean up in February? The last superhero movie that came out in February like this was Deadpool.
Yeah, and it's getting like really good reviews and everything. Yeah. Good
reviews, no competition. The most pre-sale tickets of any superhero movie to date, dwarfing even the other Marvel movies.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be big.
They're making it into an event. They're making it into something you need to see. And I mean, I know I'm catching the fever because what is it, like Think Geek and superhero stuff and all those other places that have like superhero clothing and everything. They're like, hey, you get the Black Panther hoodie that looks just like this Iron Man one I'm wearing, but it's Black Panther and everything. It's got the eyes on top and everything. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet. And then you could also get the Black Panther high tops. And I'm like, those are sick shoes. I don't own any comic book character related shoes. I feel like I need these. I have bad luck buying shoes, though. I have very, very broad feet. It's tough for me to buy shoes. I'm like a size 10, but like I'm very broad. I don't know what that says about me that I have broad feet. It's hell being Joel, I tell you, sometimes. Can't get shoes that fit. Just a friggin' worst. But yeah, so I mean, Ant-Man Wasp should be good. I hope this one continues to surprise as a franchise.
Yeah, it's definitely been very fun, very different from every other film. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And Paul Rudd, who would have thought Paul Rudd would be like a superhero?
I've been saying it forever. Maybe that's why I have such a soft spot for Ant-Man, because I've been like telling people almost to a weird degree where I'm like, no man, Paul Rudd, he's got movie star good looks, but he's funny and everything, and and he can riff and he can improv and everything. Now you got to make him a superhero though. Yeah, but what superhero are you gonna make him though? No one's gonna believe him as Superman or anything. I'm like, well, he could be one of these side heroes. I actually think they cast him as the perfect guy.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah, they really, really did. And hey, from one big Disney-owned franchise to another big Disney-owned franchise, the one trailer we did get to see during the Super Bowl, we got about 50 seconds of Solo, all new footage, never before seen.
We did, and we're getting a trailer, I think, tomorrow. Or like,
oh, are they?
Yeah, it's like a full trailer or something.
Oh, this was just an appetizer.
Yeah.
They cram a lot in that 50 seconds, don't they?
Oh boy, did they ever! The cool thing is it didn't give away anything. It just gave away all these like setup shots and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's kind of, what's the word? It's kind of gauche and passé now to admit to liking Star Wars, apparently, Matt. Apparently everyone in nerd culture is supposed to hate Star Wars now for some reason.
Yeah, we're all meant to hate it because the last movie did something wrong, apparently. I have no idea what.
Or something. I can't track the nerd rage at this point, which I find it even more hilarious that everyone's like, oh, Solo's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a nightmare. They had to switch directors. They had to do this, that, and the other. And then after 15 seconds of footage, this looks amazing. They said and did all the things I want. I'm like,
they did exactly what goddamn Red Letter Media did in that video. They put out like 2 days ago.
They really did. They really called that one. just called it down the frickin' line. And you know what? I'm like, is this going to be the thing now for Star Wars moving in the future? Because we're going to get one, maybe even two new ones every year now. Mm-hmm. Are people going to piss and moan? It's like, well, yeah, of course we're going to see it though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I like all the people saying, I'm never going to see this movie. I'm like, there's no way of knowing you're not going to see it. You're going to go see it. I can't, that's not something I can, like, gauge.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so freaking crazy. Yeah. It really, really is.
But it looks really cool.
It does, and it looks very different to the movie I think a lot of people assumed it was going to be. And again, without giving too much away, I kind of had an inside track on this, and it looked like originally they wanted it to be more comedic and more in line with something like Guardians of the Galaxy and more tongue-in-cheek. This trailer did not look tongue-in-cheek at all, did it?
No, it didn't. It looked like proper, like space crime opera sort of thingy.
Oh yeah. We did get one kind of what looked like it could have been a funny scene. What is it, in like the cantina where you had like the gold singer lady dancing around there, and I'm like, I wonder, did they actually rework this movie as much as they seem to make it, or is this just trailer magic making you think it's something it's not? I don't know.
There's definitely probably some trailer magic going on, but yeah, some of the stuff looks really cool. I like the idea of like Han on like a work experience day at like some shitty Imperial outpost. I think that's pretty cool. Oh yeah. And you got like that old guy. He's like, being part of the Empire is so cool. You got to change the world.
That's actually a really smart idea, and I hope to see some of that where it's like, let's actually see the Empire from the inside, because they're always painted as the villain everywhere else. Let's actually see what it's like to be a cog in this machine.
Yeah, it looks like it might be going that way.
And to like kind of like muddy the waters too, and kind of show shades of gray where it's like, look, not everyone who worked for the Empire was puppy kicking, orphan gassing evil. Some people were just like looking for a paycheck.
Yeah. Definitely really cool. We got to see Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian in his fur coat.
In his pimp coat. That is space pimp wear. Billy D agrees. Billy D is okay with that.
And what was that?
Or no, I was going to say, go ahead.
I was going to say, we got to see the Millennium Falcon as well, but it was all clean and not full of, like, Wookiee shit.
I wonder, are we going to actually see the, Game of Chance that he wins the Falcon in? That would be interesting.
I have a feeling we will.
Are we going to see him do the Kessel Run in under 5 parsecs?
Probably. I have a feeling we're going to see the game, mainly because those dice played a big part in The Last Jedi.
Indeed they did, which maybe that was them setting up for that.
Exactly.
That would be very cool. We get a little glimpse of Chewie too, so it's like, yeah, hey, we promised Chewie's in here too. We also get to see what looks to be Han Solo racing, not swoop bike racing, but definitely racing some sort of space vehicle.
Yeah, he's like racing like a speeder, but it's really cool because the speeder looks like an old like 50s Cadillac, and I think
Yeah,
that's really awesome.
that's a nice touch. And again, that's very original Star Wars. That's
Yeah.
very George Lucas, where it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm doing like Flash Gordon and I'm doing the old World War II serials and I'm just taking stuff I like and I'm spacifying it.
Yeah, yeah, it looks so good.
Yeah, I am excited for this one, and I don't care who knows that. I don't know. It could suck. I don't know. Maybe they did Frankenstein it together. Maybe making a
Yeah.
Han Solo movie is a bad idea. But you know what? I'm excited to find out about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm excited to find out about it. And from the world of movies to the world of comics, it was announced this week too that Marvel Rising Secret Wars, or Secret Warriors, I should say. I always want to say Secret War. Secret Warrior sounds so weird coming out of me. Is going to be getting a comic tie-in to match that brand new cartoon series they got coming out, and it's going to be aimed exclusively at children, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna read it, so.
Yeah, I mean, neither am I, probably. I mean, I will give the show a chance, and if the show is good, I will definitely check out the comic. But I mean, it's like, hey, it's not for me. It's meant to children, which big ups to Marvel for trying to get some children to read some stuff for a change. Again, it's like, you have all these super profitable characters. You make all this TV animation. Maybe like once or twice at the end of one of your Disney XD shows, you should be like, hey, kids, you want to follow the further adventures of Squirrel Girl and Miss Marvel and Quake from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Fucking read these on your pad that we know you have, kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go to your parents' wallet, take $5 or $10, take the e-bus, go down to the comic book store and meet a man named Jose, and he will sell you some comic books. Is what you should do. Because again, like I know I've railed on this one before, and you've probably heard me say this, I think a lot of the problems that are affecting comic books right now is that they lost out on a whole generation to manga for the simple reason of comic books were nowhere kids could buy them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hidden away in a special store, and as we're seeing right now in 2018, the store model is not sustainable at all. In fact, more and more stores are closing every day because of this.
And I'm seeing like shops that wouldn't usually carrying comics now, like just
yes.
like chain like department stores and stuff like that. I'd never seen them in there before, and now they've got like racks of them and stuff.
And that's the way it should really be. I mean, like, look no further than the longevity of Archie comics, for crying out loud. Archie never left drugstores and newsstands and grocery stores, and because of that, Archie has always remained profitable and has always remained culturally relevant, even when he wasn't.
Yep.
Which is shocking to think, hey, Superman, Spider-Man, X-Men, Avengers, characters that have maintained for like upwards of 75 years. What you really should have been doing is listening to Archie. Archie knew the way all along.
Archie knew how to play the ball.
Archie knew how the game was played. And then maybe one day you too can have a shitty CW show. Like, I don't watch that Riverdale show, but people tell me every so often what's going on, and I'm like, you're so fucking full of shit. That's not real.
It's literally like CW the show.
Yeah, there's like a gang of teens and everything, and there's like devil sacrifices and like sex with Miss Grundy. I'm like, fuck off, that's not real. You're lying. Stop lying. And then, like, I'll go to the Wikipedia page, and like, oh my god, they're not lying. And then, like, I'll hear something that actually sounds kind of fun, where it's like, Josie and the Pussycats played the dance. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. They're, like, bringing together all the other things in, like, that shared Hanna-Barbera-esque universe. But then I'm like, oh, no, but it's CW, so I'm sure it's going to suck. It's not going to be the Josie and the Pussycats I want.
Yeah, and I think they're also doing, like another spin-off, which is like a Sabrina the Teenage Witch spin-off or something.
I heard that.
Which is going to be CW-fied, of course.
I was going to say, is that them doing it? Because I remember hearing rumors, maybe it fell through, that like Netflix wanted to do like a My Life with Sabrina series where it's like, hey, it's Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but all the magic is like super real and like super dark and everything, like that comic they did, like Afterlife with Archie.
I think it'll be in the same universe, because I know like at least here in Australia, Netflix puts out Riverdale. So
Yeah, I
they
think
might
they've
have
been
like
hearing
a
maybe
I think
too.
they might have a hand in the actual show. So yeah,
Right. Here in Canada, they also put out Black Lightning on Netflix. I think they do
same.
everywhere else in the.
Yeah,
To which I'm just like, well, why don't they have an ink or a deal inked with all the other CW shows? I
yeah,
would love to just go to Netflix and be like, okay, now I can watch Flash and Black Lightning and Legends all back to back.
exactly. That'd be really good. But no, got to make it difficult.
It's probably because those other shows are older and they probably didn't have near as good a chance to make those deals back then when the shows were untested.
Yeah,
Now they're a worthwhile brand. Now Netflix is like, you're fucking right, we want this.
yeah, yeah.
Have you been keeping up with Black Lightning? I've been keeping up with it.
I watched the first episode and decided this probably isn't for me.
Not for you. It's very, very different. I will
Yeah,
say that. Like, I think it's the fact that it's different that keeps me coming back because he's not really fighting supervillains. He is fighting traditional crime. He is fighting social ills. Tobias Whale is there in the background, and in the last episode, we met one of the other leaders of the 100. It's interesting. You could draw a lot of Luke Cage comparisons to it, but I think the thing that actually sets it apart from Luke Cage in a big way is in this one very specific thing, and maybe you'll agree. Man, Black Lightning is way harder on cops than Luke Cage was.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Because
Definitely.
it's like in Luke Cage, it's like, the cops, some are bad, but Misty Knight is really good, and you see the police force through her eyes, and she wants to help. And yeah, her partner was corrupt, but he wasn't racist or anything. He just wanted money, and he was so fun, wasn't he? But in Black Lightning, it's like, oh no, the cops are equal parts racist, or they're incompetent, or they're both.
Yeah, yeah. Every cop on that show is like racist, and isn't that like one of the first like things we're introduced to when we're introduced to the police of the city is like them like stopping him
Yep.
because he's black and there was like a liquor store robbery or something.
Yep. Even
Yeah.
though he's wearing a suit and driving a Range Rover. Yep. But it's okay though, Matt, because a Korean woman was being racist because she thought he did it. So it's okay. But no, it's even funnier because like as the show goes on, like Black Lightning's buddy, who's like the chief of police, like literally every time something bad happens, he goes to him and he's like, "Hey, as the Jim Gordon of this show, are you gonna do something about it?" And his reaction is always to say, geez, I mean, Jefferson, I'd like to, I mean, I can't, and he never does anything. He's amazing. I love that character so much because he never does a goddamn thing. There's even a moment where it's like, well, maybe I'll bend the rules a little bit to get this guy to, speak up and cop to a crime he committed. Oh, he's already dead. He was already murdered. Shit. I guess I'm not gonna do anything. I was gonna, but then something happened, and this is why I don't do anything.
Oh god, I might like watch it like once the season finishes. Is it going to be? Is
Yeah.
it the usual like length of a season, 22 episodes, or have they cut it?
It might be. I don't know. I don't know if they're taking like a wait and see approach for it. I'm not 100% sure on that, Matt.
Okay. Yeah, but I might
It,
look
it
at
is
it
one of
once it finishes the series.
they're also definitely trying to build his daughter Thunder as like a new psychic and everything. Like the fact that they're building her as early as the pilot, I'm like, in a way, it almost feels like you wanted to do Thunder more than you wanted to do Black Lightning, and this was like your backdoor to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
To where I'm like, that is a thing. The next two episodes are already primed, so we're getting it all throughout February at
Okay.
least.
Okay.
The next two episodes are called Black Jesus and Aches and Pains. And somewhere Aaron Magruder's like, no, my show was Black Jesus. Why didn't my show Black Jesus stay on the air? It's going to be really interesting with Black Lightning going in the future if it does become a big success, and I think it's being pretty successful so far, how they're going to justify and how they're going to, write it that he can cross over with all the other CW heroes.
That's what I was like we've said it before. I was really hoping that they would do that because he's an older hero. He could give them some, slap them around the head when they're not doing
would
the
be
right
very
thing.
nice.
Yeah, it'd be really good.
Especially Barry right now in his show is like, I got all these marriage problems I'm going through. I'm like, who you need to talk to? You need to talk to Black Lightning. He'll set you straight. You'd be like, yeah, son, marriage is tough and everything. Try it when you have two adult children who are running around on you. Then you'll see.
You don't know the shit I've seen.
Yeah, this is your future, Barry Allen, right here. This is your future. It is fun though with Black Lightning because he's like, yeah, I have all these amazing powers, but I also don't have a healing factor, so I can actually get beaten up pretty seriously.
Yeah, yeah. The one thing I liked about the pilot is like when he saves his daughter in that hotel room, she doesn't recognize her own father despite him only wearing like glasses and like had a voice changer. She didn't like recognize her own father.
I thought the exact same thing. They explained that away in episode 2, actually, quite interestingly enough.
How's that?
That he's so electrified all the time, he blinds anyone who looks at him for too long.
God damn it.
And I'm like, you know what? Sure, fair enough. Because it's like, they would always pull the same shit out with Superman, where it's like, no, he's actually radiating himself so quickly with Superman's super speed. That's why no camera can ever catch his face for too long.
They did that in the Flash as well, where he'd like
They
vibrate his face, and that made sense.
Because his thing is super speed. With Superman, it's like, wait, so is he always vibrating himself all the time? But yeah, you're absolutely right, because I thought of myself in that same situation. I'm like, look, I think if my dad had electric powers and came to help me wearing nothing but goggles and a face changer, I'd be like, yo, Dad, what up? I'm not your father. You're clearly, I can tell.
Gotta go, bye.
And that's even more suspicious because, like, literally in episode 2, people start asking Black Lightning, it's funny, when your daughters went missing, suddenly Black Lightning came out of retirement and helped. How come he never did that all these other years leading up to this? So the show is at least smart enough to put that together and make it part of the episode, because even he's like, oh, damn, that's right. I guess I am fucking up, aren't I? That was really dumb that I did that. So, they got the good writers on that one. Another piece of news we got here, and this is a story near and dear to your heart, Matt, so I'm actually going to let you take point on this one because I figure you probably have the most to say. Brian Michael Bendis, we knew he was working for DC. We knew he was going to be writing on the special 1000th issue of Action Comics, but we didn't know what else he was going to be doing until this week when it finally came out that he is going to actually not only be taking over Superman, not only going to be taking over Action Comics, he's also going to be having a Superman miniseries and basically taking on a whole whack of Superman responsibility very soon.
Yeah. So he's literally becoming like the editor of Superman, basically.
He is the Superman guy now, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like that's totally fine, and I was totally fine with that. And then I found out what else he's going to be doing. On top of all that, he's going to be launching a new imprint, which will be where all his original stuff goes. So stuff like Powers and all that, Scarlet and all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. He's going to be launching another one, which is full of new original stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be doing the Action Comics and Superman books both monthly, so they'll both be coming out either the same day or a week apart.
Yeah.
So he's got to have them done, and then he's got this 12-issue miniseries called Man of Steel,
which
Jesus.
I think is going to be a lead into his Superman work.
Yeah.
And did we mention too? This is only a couple months after he had a brush with death. Yeah, he almost died not too long ago.
Yeah. So, Jesus.
That's a lot of work. And again, the fact that DC is cool with him taking all of this speaks volumes to how much they trust him and how much he almost certainly had to have wowed them to get this much responsibility, given that we are living in probably one of the finest eras of Superman comics in decades.
Yeah, I'm really sad though, because I really liked Patrick Gleason and Peter J. Tomasi on the book, and they were on the book for 40 odd issues. They were doing really well. Book was always on time.
Jurgens too made it look easy. He's like, motherfucker, I've been writing Superman before most of you were born. I fucking did the death of Superman story, man. This is goddamn easy for me.
Yeah, so it's where do they go now? What do they do?
I mean, that's the real mystery, and I'm almost more interested in that than anything, because I think, as you said, Gleason and Tomasi have proven, hey, you got a fledgling series, we will shoot that shit in the arm.
Yeah, so maybe they'll do that for some other series around DC. Batman's not doing so hot right now.
That was the rumor from Bleeding Cool. It's well, could they be going to Detective Comics? And I'm like, well, Detective Comics isn't really in trouble. James Tynion's doing a really good job on that book, unless he's needed on something else at the moment.
Well, didn't Detective just get Seeley? Didn't they just switch him? Or was that
No,
that?
no,
Oh, that was Green
you're
Arrow. Green Arrow, yeah.
yeah, no, you're thinking of Nightwing.
Nightwing, yeah, yeah,
Nightwing
probably.
traded him out for whatchamacallit, for Sam Humphries, which I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
not liking the new Humphries run.
No.
No, I'm really not. I think he's trying way too hard to get over his new characters, and he basically torpedoed everything Seeley did before, and it also looks very much like he didn't read what Seeley wrote before.
And it's like the complete opposite on Green Lanterns at the moment, where Seeley took over.
Which
It's
makes
just
me
so
feel like
amazing.
which makes me feel like, fuck, why did I keep reading Nightwing? I should have just followed Seeley to Green Lanterns and just should have started reading that. In fact, I might. Like, here's the thing. I'm like 3, 4 issues into his new Nightwing, and I'm not digging it, so I might just make the jump over. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, it would be sad to see those guys go. I know Jurgens in the last arc of Action Comics has been like, hey, wouldn't it be nice if I wrote Booster Gold again? Don't y'all like Booster Gold? Shouldn't I write something with Booster Gold?
That was like his little backdoor pilot. Like, hey, I could still write this character I
And
created.
if I wrote Booster Gold, it would be just like this. Hey, here's a pitch for a book: Booster Gold and the Legends of Tomorrow.
There you go. There you go. Easy.
There. Hey, you can even grab a bunch of the characters from the Justice League of America. You could grab all the characters you needed from there because that book's coming to an end soon.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You could do that. But yeah, I'm interested to see what those guys are doing. I'm interested to see what Bendis is going to be doing in that miniseries, because I read the miniseries and that sounded exactly like what went on in like in the Oz Effect and everything. Like we just had, because his whole arc is about Krypton and something going on Krypton or something. And I'm like, we just had an arc. We're in the middle of an arc based around Krypton.
Is not the stereotype and is not the thing we joked about Bendis for years at Marvel, that he bites off more than he can chew, takes more work than any human could reasonably do, even if he does write months in advance, which sets him apart from most people. Does it not seem like he's doing this all over again here and now? Does it not seem like this is exactly what happened with his X-Men? Doesn't this seem like this is exactly what happened with the Iron Man books and everything else?
Yeah, and that's what's really like scaring me, because we'll have that miniseries, and the miniseries will probably be really good, and then maybe like his first arc on Action and Superman will be really good, and then it'll just like he'll I don't think he'll get bored because it's Superman.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll probably start petering out and just sort of spin its wheels a little bit.
Will it be like one of those things where it's like, yeah, Superman's cool and everything, but what about these new Kryptonians I invented, like his new X-Men? Like, yeah, don't you love my new X-Men? Everybody, remember this blue-haired Australian girl who could time travel? Wasn't she great? Okay, why are you all walking away? But what about Hijack? He's a Hispanic youth who has the power to steal cars. Why are you looking at me weird?
That's the one thing I'm worried about. He's going to start creating characters without realizing that characters like the ones he's creating already exist.
Yeah, he has in the last couple years he's had a real problem with that.
Yeah, like I'm expecting to see like basically a Riri Williams of the Superman family, and I'm just like, what about Natasha Irons? She's a hero. She has an Iron Man suit.
She literally exists. Like, look, they should sit him down in that. Like, Jeff Johns and Jim Lee should be like, look, here's Natasha Irons. She's basically the character you tried to launch at Marvel. We have nothing for her at the moment. Please run with her. All the hard work has been done for you, Brian. You just gotta run with it.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried, but yeah, I'm interested to see what he's going to be doing.
The thing that worries me, where it's like, oh, he's got both now?
Yeah, so that's what's really strange.
So it's like, so even if you don't like what Bendis is doing on Superman, you're stuck with him now?
Yeah, and that's what's really worried me, because like I've always seen like Superman and Action as two completely different books. You got the Superman book, which is all the Superman action, and the Action Comics book, which is like the Superman family book.
Yes, especially in this era, the Superman book has dealt with the family. His son, especially John, gets real places of prevalence. Lois gets some cool backup stories.
Yeah,
it's all about the family and where they're living. Where Action has been, all about like, high-flying Superman stories. That's where the Lex stories are. Mm-hmm. That's where the Mr. Oz stuff was. It was all there. And like, here's the thing. I'm reminded of when Bendis wrote All New X-Men and Uncanny X-Men. They started off having their own flavors and being very distinct and being on their own for the first 2 volumes.
Yeah.
Then he stopped caring, and then it's just like he just went back and forth between both. He's like, which one am I writing this week? It doesn't fucking matter. Characters will cross over with each other, and they'll go back and forth between books, and I don't even care.
Yeah, and that's what I'm really worried about. You'll get to that point where it's like, I'm sick of writing this character. I want to write Batman. And then suddenly, like, Batman's in, like, all the Action Comics and Superman issues, and until he gets that book.
Again, this might just be, fear-mongering on our side. The hope is that he had a strong enough pitch, and the editorial at DC Comics, especially in the Superman office, is strong enough and, forethinking enough to challenge him on these things and be like, no, Brian, it doesn't work like this. No, this story you wrote months in advance doesn't make sense anymore because of what's happening over here. Got to go back and change it. That's the hope.
That's another thing, that DC is more reliable on continuity than Marvel is, whereas Marvel's kind of fast and loose. But
these days they never used to be.
Yeah, but DC is like, no, this is continuity. We need continuity.
They haven't really fucked with their continuity yet. They've come close to it. There's some stuff in Metal that's kind of contradicting some stuff in Doomsday Clock at the moment, but it's also a year in advance, so they have time to fix it if they have to. But it's definitely one of those things. They've been very ironclad in it, and it's almost like the thing too with DC Rebirth. It's like, we're a couple years into this now. You're doing the New Age of Heroes thing. This is usually the time in a life cycle where if you're going to start fucking up, you'll start fucking up around now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, with those New Age of Heroes, they're just like Marvel heroes.
which, as we joked about in the last episode, where it's like, oh, New Age of Heroes, these all probably sounded like great ideas before Marvel actually kind of started to course correct.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, we'll do our own Fantastic Four and our own X-Men. Oh, that probably sounded great before they actually got the rights to Fantastic Four and X-Men and started putting them back the way they were supposed to be.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So did you just dump a bunch of time and money into a bunch of books no one's going to want to read?
Yeah, Dead DD is like, it's DCU all over again.
Yeah, oh no! Everything's on fire. Well, here's the thing. New Age of Heroes, they're at least far enough in their own universe and off to the side, even though they are trying to, implement them, that if the Silencer and Damage and, whatever the fuck the other ones are called, Immortal Men, whatever, if they don't succeed, they can be like, and then they went back to the Dark Universe and they were never seen again.
Yeah, well, I read Silencer and it's Punisher. But yeah,
it's so Punisher. They got 2 guys who used to write and draw Punisher War Journal.
I'm the one I'm really looking forward to is the Terrifics, because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
which is ironic because it is obviously a Fantastic Four ripoff.
Exactly. To where it's like, because it's funny, they led with the Terrifics, where it's like, yeah, hey, you're not getting the Fantastic Four stories you want anymore. Get a load of this. Now it's like, yeah, but Marvel 2-in-1's actually pretty good now, and they're actually promising that we are going to get the Fantastic Four stories we want.
Yeah. Oh, so Terrifics.
but Terrifics, we have Metamorpho and Plastic Man. Oh my God, what did we do? Why did we think this was a great idea a couple months ago? We assumed you would rather have watered down versions of these characters than not get the characters you want at all. Which I think, if that's the case, and if it goes the way I do, they'll learn a very harsh lesson, and that is people don't want characters like the characters they want. They just want the characters they want.
Yeah.
It's a thing, man, I tell you. But yeah, Bendis on Superman. I am cautiously optimistic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Even if part of me kind of fears where it's like, oh, did you guys care more about putting his name on a book than you actually cared about what he wrote? Because Bendis DC together on a page is going to be a huge seller just because people need to see that for themselves.
Yeah, and now Bendis DC Superman on a page.
Yeah, again, that's a license to print money. There's no 2 ways about it.
Yep.
I tain't gonna lie. But yeah, so that's that one, everybody. And with that, I guess we have 2 choices of how we can proceed. You want to take a couple questions, Matt, from the Twitterverse, or do you want to hop right into what we read this week?
I would take a couple of questions. There'll be a
Yeah,
few. Yeah.
because we read very little this week because very little came out. In fact, I'm only halfway done writing Deathstroke at the moment.
Yeah, I suppose we'll talk about metal as well.
Yes, that's a big one. We got Metal to talk about. We got Avengers No Surrender to talk about. So there's stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: I didn't know about Metal. This was the penultimate issue. I'm like, really? Metal was only 6 issues? What did I think it was 12?
Yeah, I think it was all the tie-ins.
I guess so. We have one more tie-in left to go. We got that Dark Knights: The Wild Hunt.
Yeah.
Which I hope it's exactly like The Witcher: The Wild Hunt. I hope there's a lot of sex and Norse people in it. And I hope there's a point where you have to choose between, do you want the dark-haired one or the red-headed one? Who is the true Witcher waifu? It's up to you.
If you say anything other than redhead, you're not my friend anymore.
Oh shit! I hope Matt doesn't look at my save files.
Oh, I see.
Oh, Joel revealed a lot of himself and what he's into. Okay, so here's a good one right off the bat. Jace Hammond asks, what's your comic book centerpiece, be it a comic, statue, or autograph that takes center stage in your collection? That's really good. I've got a couple I'm pretty proud of. I of course have my signed Green Arrow, Green Lantern. Oh, my ward is a junkie, signed by the artist and writer.
That's pretty cool. I've got like a really cool Superman figure, and I've got like this big Marvel book that's signed by Stan Lee and a bunch of the artists and stuff.
That's good. It's funny. He said centerpiece, but it's actually not a centerpiece. It's on the one piece of my wall you can't see. And it's like just for me. It's just for me. I have some other signed works there. Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connors signed Harley Quinn #0 for me before that became a big thing. Again, it's not up on any wall. It's hidden away because I think it might actually be worth something.
Yeah, I got a sealed graded issue of Batman Superman issue.
Nice.
I want to say issue. I can't remember what issue. It's issue 6. It's the old Jeff Loeb series as well. It's the cover with like Superman and Shazam and everything fighting on it.
That's a pretty good one. People who look at my set wall too for when I do the little openings to my comic reviews, I've got like a big Game of Thrones replica sword off to the side on a little plaque and everything. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
It's a nice little nerdy piece of art decoration off to the side. I've got a bunch of other things there. I think I have some more signed stuff up on there. I have a bunch of original art I've been getting inside the BAM box, actually signed by artists and people. I need to find a way to put those up, but I don't want to use tape even though they're in plastic. I'm not sure about glue. I got to find something. I got to find a good thing to put it up on the wall to make it look nice but not, ruin the wall or the artwork.
Yeah, I got original art. I got like original art by like Nicholas Scott, some Avengers art by what's the artist's name? Adam Nichols.
He's good.
Some really cool stuff.
Our next question comes from James and Robbins, and he asks, what comic book runs that you each have read have moved you or triggered an emotional response from you? I mean, I always kind of go back to Punisher Max because, it was so dark and so morose and so cynical. It made me feel like crap, but in the best way.
It made you not want to go out and do all that bad shit.
Absolutely. It's like, man, my life might be rough at the moment, but at least it ain't Punisher Max rough, I tell you. That's a good one. I'm sure you had some Superman ones.
The Man of Steel, the original Man of Steel miniseries from the 80s is really good. Birthright, All-Star Superman, really good.
One moment I think people sleep on a lot, near the end of Superior Spider-Man, when Doc Ock finally, makes his big, arc as a hero, and he knows he can't save Anne-Marie, the woman he loves, from the Green Goblin, and the only way for her to be rescued is for him to let Peter Parker come back into his body, even though doing so is essentially killing himself. And it's this great moment of love makes you a better person, love makes you want to be a hero.
That was a really nice one. The Superior Spider-Man is I think it was the last time I really read Spider-Man, but I collected that whole series.
It's very solid, despite all the pissing and moaning. It's wow, this ended up being really good. And in fact, you could argue, man, this was the last time Slott was really, really good on Spider-Man. And he wasn't even writing Spider-Man. He was writing Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way she goes. There's another question for us. Oh, this one just came across. You're lucky. Jared Williams, thoughts on Agents of Shield this season? Really solid. I'm an episode behind.
Yeah, I actually watched the recent episode yesterday, and it was really good. I'm really surprised at just like the quality it's been getting over like the last like 2 or 3 seasons. It's just been upping the quality every season.
It's a different show from season to season. I feel bad for the people who dropped off on it so early. I feel bad for the people who continue to doubt its quality, and the people who are like, oh, this will be the last season. Oh, they're going to cancel it this season. Oh, I can't make it. It's been really good.
That's what happens every time the season ends. They're like, oh, that's the last season. We gotta wait now until see if they cancel it, and then the shows for the next year start coming out, and they're like, oh, it's gonna get cancelled. It's gonna get cancelled, and then it doesn't.
And the people who all become rating scientists overnight, where it's like, oh, I know the ratings aren't sustainable. Disney's just pumping a bunch of money in this show for no reason. I'm like, but are they though? They're making good art. Isn't that what should be important?
Yeah.
It's their network. They can put on whatever they want. What would you rather have instead? Would you rather have nothing?
Exactly.
Just to prove me right, I would rather have nothing. Then I'll know I'm right, and I'll get a cookie. But yeah, Shield's been solid. It's gone full science fiction in a really interesting way, doing time travel in some really interesting ways too.
Time travel in like a really cohesive way as well. One that's like where I'm not sitting there like the Flash when the Flash do it, and I'm like, but this happened and this didn't happen here, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Hey, what happened to the Pied Piper? Shut up. That's what happened. Jose Rilo asks, in preparation for Infinity War, what are your guys' favorite Marvel teaser trailers, and what are your fondest memories looking back at the MCU in a theater before going in? That's interesting. Man, I mean, it's kind of hard to pick a favorite Marvel teaser trailer because A, they've all been good, and B, it's like, I think my favorite one is the last one I saw. I just rewatched Black Panther before we started this.
That was a good one. The recent Infinity War one is really good. What teaser trailer do I like the first Iron Man trailer, and I like the first Iron Man. Like, I remember the first time I went to see that back in 2008. I had no idea we'd be sitting here, 10 years later watching all these characters get together.
You and me both, man. I quite famously went to the theater with a group of friends from high school right after school, and they were all stoked to see Iron Man. They're like, yeah, Iron Man's going to be so great. Aren't you excited for Iron Man? And being a comic book fan, I'm like, it's fucking Iron Man. The dude's like a goddamn C-list hero. You actually think this is going to lead to anything? You actually think this is going to start something? Then to be like, wow, that movie was great. And holy fuck, they're threatening Avengers now? And that was Nick Fury? What the good... Flash forward. And I'm wearing this now, flash forward.
Yeah, you're wearing an Iron Man jumper.
And I'm doing this show, so thank you, Iron Man, for proving me wrong. Never have I been more happy to be more wrong. But yeah, those are some really good ones. Next up, we have one here from Kenneth. And, here's an anime-themed one. Vegeta, Gohan, or Goku? Which is best?
Great Saiyaman.
Oh, fuck. Matt just blew up this goddamn question. I'm sorry. He's right. Great Saiyaman is the correct answer to that question. And if not that, then Hercule.
I was just about to say the champion of the universe, Hercule.
Yeah. Hercule or Mr. Satan, depending on what dub you're watching. I mean, Vegeta will always be cooler. Gohan, arguably the show should have been about Gohan at a certain point, but they always needed to come back to Goku.
Yeah.
And Goku is basically just anime Superman, so there you go.
Yeah.
Only Superman's a better dad, as we've shown.
Yeah, he's not as stupid as Goku.
No, he's not nearly as stupid, and it's not like, hey, I gotta go train out in space and everything. Hey, John, how about you go live with reformed Lex Luthor for a little bit, and he can be your dad, and he can train you. How's that sound?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. And then for long stretches of the series, you'll just be wearing a suit that looks like Luthor's. He'll just give you a junior power suit, and you'll just be wearing that. Because that's how close. And also, like, you'll adopt one of Lex's finishing moves and use that for a good chunk of your career. And even in Super, when John Gohan has kids, friggin' Luthor will be more of a grandfather to them than me, because why not? But I'm the greatest fighter ever, though. I'm not meant to have children. And then it's like, hey, what about Gotenks? What about Gotenks? What about Goten?
Yeah, I mean, who? What? Who are you talking about?
Goten. I think you mean Oob, my best friend Oob, who I adopted and trained for a long time in the hyperbolic time chamber, and then I fucking forgot about him. God, DBZ is weird.
It is.
Next up, we have a question here from King Claude. If Cap dies in Infinity War, as many people seem to think he will, who should replace him as leader of the Avengers? I mean, Bucky is a strong candidate.
Well, Bucky makes the most sense to take up the Captain America mantle because he is actually Steve Rogers' longest living friend.
Plus, you get to tell more Ed Brubaker era stories with him.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And he'll get that really cool costume he had, which is like a big metal shield looking thing.
Yep. Who doesn't love that? Plus, then you can tell a whole series of movies where it's like, am I worthy of this position? Am I doing Steve well? Would he be proud of me? I have a lot to atone for the crimes I've committed as Winter Soldier.
Exactly.
That'll be some good shit. Plus, he could lead the new Avengers with, like, Doctor Strange and Black Panther and Captain Marvel and everything.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be fun. Cody Masters says, thoughts on the John Wick films, and have either of you read the John Wick comic? If so, what was your thoughts?
I have read the John Wick comic. You can actually go check out my review on my channel of it.
Y'all should do that. I've seen the first John Wick. I saw the second John Wick on a plane and ended up falling asleep and missing like half of it.
Oh, go watch it.
I know he goes to Italy, and I'm assuming everything works out fine for him after that.
He goes to Italy, and there's a really cool scene where he goes to the sommelier, and it's just like, it's Peter Stefan Nowick, who's like in charge of like, he's like the gunsmith in Italy. And he's got like all these guns. Yeah, I like that part. That's really cool.
And he's talking about them as if they were food or wine. Yeah, that was good. I did see that one. That was pretty good.
And there was a sick fight in like the catacombs in the Vatican, or like the Rome catacombs or something.
Right. It was right around there I started dozing off and like waking up to gunfire and being like, is something happening? To which I'm sure people are like, Jesus Christ, Joel, how tired, how much of a bender were you on that you could fall asleep during that?
Yeah, and the comic's really good as well. It's written by Greg Pak.
Nice, I like him.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite. Longtime fan, longtime commenter asking, will either of you be reviewing X-Men Red by Tom Taylor this week?
Of course I will be. It's a Tom Taylor book.
Yeah, Matt is right in there. Did you even have to ask? Will I be doing it? Honestly, I've sworn off X-Men comics for so long now, and
this will be the good one though, because it's written by Tom Taylor. He actually gives a shit about these characters.
He does actually give a shit, and his Wolverine is really solid, and she's going to be on this team too. This definitely looks to be the team to watch, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like if I am to read that, I should probably read Jean Grey Resurrection first.
Yeah, I'd probably read it. It's only 5 issues long, and it's really easy to read.
Yeah. I do have a new series now called The Story So Far, where I look at stories in their completion, kind of give a better overview of them. I did Black Bolt for the first one.
Yeah.
Which was really fun to do, and the audience response was really popular on it, even if, the views were like, yeah, this did about as well as a Black Bolt book as I thought it would do.
Yeah, no, people love that Black Bolt book.
They do, as they should. It's very solid. Alan West asked, thoughts on Cloverfield Paradox? Haven't seen it yet.
Joe doesn't know about this, does he?
No, I know what it is. They stealth released the third Cloverfield movie on Netflix after the football game.
Yeah, it's actually on Netflix right now as we're doing this show. I'm going to watch it after we're done here.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to it, mainly because it looks like it's the direct sequel to Cloverfield.
Oh, the original.
Yeah, well, in the trailer, it looks like it's actually going to be set in the same time period as Cloverfield in New York, as well as like there's like space time travel stuff happening as well.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it looks really cool.
What's that show Altered Carbon about? It looked very space punk, tech punk.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that looks fun.
I've actually been watching it. It's super good. It's got the guy who played Rick Flag in Suicide Squad in a role where he can actually act.
Oh, Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah, and it's really cool. It's like Blade Runner sort of cyberpunk stuff. Really cool concept as well. Have you heard like the concept of it?
Not at all.
So like people in like the far future have these like things in their necks. So like when they die, that thing gets put in another body, which is called a sleeve, and they can like basically live again and live forever, basically, and unless that thing is destroyed. And yeah, it's like a tech noir sort of like detective story about this guy investigating this other guy's murder.
So a lot of Blade Runner influence, a lot of Akira reference by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Sounds like my cup of tea. Mark asks, can you see the new Age of Heroes DC characters crossing over with the DC Universe titles at some point, like Silencer appearing in Batman, Detective Comics, etc., etc.? I think that's the point, Mark. I think that's what they eventually hope to do. Will they get there? I don't know. As Matt and I have explained in this issue, this episode, although I guess you could call this an issue of this show, we are very skeptical of them getting that far when they seem to just essentially be watered-down versions of Marvel characters with little extra dimension added to them.
Yeah, I think, they probably won't get that far now. That what will probably happen, we'll probably see those characters go away a little bit. And then, like, when we're least expecting them, they'll, like, come back, but be written differently and better and more thought out and everything.
Again, because it's like, we don't know. It's just like what we've seen so far of these characters where it's like, oh, you are literally just an imitation.
Yeah, that it literally is the damage is literally the Hulk.
You are a cover song of a more popular song is what you are. Which, hey, sometimes cover songs can be great, and maybe they will be great. We don't know. They're only an issue in. So far, they're not filling us with hope.
Yeah.
Shaman of Animation asks, with Dan Slott leaving the Spider-Man book, who would you like to see take over the title? Personally, he'd like to see Kyle Higgins. Again, I keep saying forever, the hot rumor for the longest time was it was supposed to be Nick Spencer, and I still think the plan is for it to be Nick Spencer.
Nick Spencer would be good. Matthew Rosenberg would be good.
Oh, yeah, I love Rosenberg.
I'd say, like, bump Chip Zdarsky up to the book.
That's fine, too.
Yeah.
Again, like, that other extra Spider-Man book is fine at the moment, but yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah, but Nick Spencer seems to be the one who might be getting it.
Yeah, that's the rumor. It's funny, after Secret Empire finished up, he's been radio silent, Nick Spencer, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got something coming, I reckon.
Which makes me think, I'm like, please tell me you were radio silent because you were working really hard on hammering out what your Spider-Man run is going to be. And please promise me at some point the superior foes of Spider-Man will show up in the Spider-Man book.
You know they will. You know that he wrote that book, and that book's really popular, so...
Can't have them in the first arc, but arc 2, you better believe. They're coming. They're coming. You better believe it. I'm always kind of sad about that. I'm like, oh, Nick Spencer's taking over Spider-Man. That means when Ant-Man and Wasp comes out, he won't be able to write more Scott Lang Ant-Man, because that was also excellent. All right, we got one more question here. We asked this one. Kyle Stevenson asked, thoughts on Bendis doing Superman in Action Comics? Yeah, we answered that.
Yeah, kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, could go either way at this point. Here's a nice little segue question that'll take us into what we read this week. And because we didn't read much, we'll probably end the show at that point. But Jacob asks, what do you think about how crazy Dark Knight's Metal is getting? Or sorry, that was Kyle who asked that. Jacob was under him.
It's getting pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy. As I said before, I'm shocked that it's ending. Now, I guess I mistook it for all the different tie-ins they had, and they had so many, but most of them were really well done.
Yeah, and this penultimate issue kind of like sort of took all the stakes up like a couple of rungs on the ladder, and
even higher if that was even possible.
Yeah, I didn't even think that was possible, and yeah, it's all up to Wonder Woman and Lady Darkhawk.
Yeah, like literally the end of every Dark Knight's Metal issue so far has been like, they're fucked, they're so fucked. And then at the end of this one, no, now they're fucked.
Yeah, now they're fucked, because not only are they dealing with the Dark Knights, they also dealing with like other incarnations of other heroes from the Dark Universe. So like Wonder Woman's, Dark
Mhm.
Doctor Fates, and all that sort of shit.
I loved the looks for the Dark Wonder Woman there. It's like, oh, what if she became Cheetah? What if she had magic powers like Cersei the Sorceress?
Yeah, they're really cool, and I'm really interested. I hope we get to see in that last issue and in Wild Hunt more of those characters.
Yeah, that would be nice because it's like, man, it feels like you have even more stories you could tell just about all of these characters now.
Yeah.
I want to know what brought us to that situation where this became a thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're like, oh, but it's called New Age of Heroes. I'm like, no, it's not.
Also, Martian Manhunter came back from like his year and a half absence.
Yeah, and I don't know how to feel about like the reasoning. Like he's just like, oh, I was on Thanagar Prime the whole time, investigating
Yes.
this. I thought that was pretty funny.
John Jones, knew how serious this was going to be, and as such, went deep undercover to
Yeah.
spy on the Hawk people.
And it's not even the thing. I'm really surprised though is they didn't say like Batman made him do it. I was like, if they did that, I'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah. Batman told me to do it, and I jumped because I'm Martian Manhunter, and I have no self-determination of my own. I mean, look, I will take a lame reason over no reason.
yeah.
But yeah, he's fucking back, everyone. He'll be back just in time to be part of Scott Snyder's Justice League team.
He's going to be actually part of the Justice League team because we've seen like
Yeah.
pictures and stuff of like events that happen after that. And
Yep.
obviously Superman's got his trunks back, but also like Cyborg's no longer on the Justice League and Martian Manhunter's taking his spot.
Interesting.
So maybe Cyborg will be back on the Titans.
Well, hey, apparently in that Flash annual from this week, they do a little flashback to Wally's time, and they clearly show that Cyborg was on the Teen Titans. So maybe they're finally ready to give up the ghost on that, where they're like, look, no one liked the Justice League movie. We did this in a lot of reasons to prime the pump for the Justice League movie. No one cares. Just put him back on the Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Which, fine. If it took you 5 years to come to that point, fine.
Yeah.
Just do the thing and make the thing look like the way I like it. Which makes me wonder, too, I'm like, wait, but you also seem to have developed this Teen Titans show for your app without Cyborg in mind. Does that mean we're not going to see Cyborg show up in that show, at least not for the first season?
Yeah, well, look at his CGI in the movie, and they no way they're going to be doing that on TV, or
No.
not even on TV, on like a web app.
That's fine. They'll just duct tape a bunch of cheese graters to him. I'm Cyborg, can't you tell?
They'll just
With
do
my
they'll do the Smallville Victor Stone where all the Cyborg stuff was on the inside, so the actor didn't have to wear any prosthetics.
There you go. With my cheese graterium armor, I am the finest cyborg in all the land. They repurpose an old Tin Man costume from like the Wizard of Oz, and they just stick an actor in that.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, the actor died from like inhaling lead paint.
Oh no!
80-year-old lead paint.
Damn it! Knew we should have got a new costume. Maybe next season.
We'll just CGI out the costume like we did with Henry Cavill's upper lip.
Oh, there you go. I mean, he can't look any worse than Red Tornado, right? As far as like
Jesus.
live action robots. If I only had a brain. Man, Wizard of Oz still holds up super good. Like, you watch that movie and you're like, really? They made this movie in the fucking 30s? Doesn't look that way. But yeah, what else came out this week? I guess we talked about Metal for a little bit. I guess we can talk about Avengers No Surrender.
Yeah, Avengers No Surrender. Again, like an issue that kind of had all this action, and we got a little bit more of the rules explained. Like, we know it's definitely some type of game involving like those pyramid thingies.
Mm-hmm. And if you touch them, you die sometimes.
Yeah, apparently, but it's going to be interesting to see like if Johnny Storm actually dies. I know he won't because the pyramid he touched was a fire pyramid. And when is this story? Is this story meant to be set before Marvel 2-in-1?
I don't know.
Because if it's set before it, it would explain why he's dying.
Yeah, because his powers are like going in and out, and we haven't quite gotten to that point in Marvel 2-in-1. Why that's the case? Good eyes, Matt. Well spotted.
Yeah, because that was a fire thing, so maybe that like sucks his fire power or something.
Possibly. We got some more insight into the Challenger, which is the name they've given the dude who is challenging the Grandmaster for some reason. It's great because he talks shit about Grandmaster's choice of picking the Lethal Legion. Where it's like, why would you pick all these space losers to be on your team? All these mercenaries and pirates. These guys all suck. They can't hold a candle to the Black Order.
Yeah, I like that. He's like talking mad shit about him.
Again, it's like a fighting game where it's like, oh, these guys are so not tournament app. These guys are so not on the top end of fight hubs, dude.
Yeah, and also like obviously we kind of got like glimpses of him.
Yeah.
And we know it's obviously not Thanos or
It's not Thanos.
or Kang.
No, which is good because I know a lot of people were afraid of that. They're like, it's Mark Waid. It's going to be some version of Kang from another point in time because this dude has a big boner for Kang recently.
But what's really interesting, and I'll ask you this as well, but like the way he was talking, the way Grandmaster was talking, it sounded like he might have been from like another dimension or like reality.
Yeah.
Because they mentioned like realities and stuff, so maybe he's from some other Earth.
He definitely sounded like he wasn't from around there.
Yeah. What if it's Victory?
Well, again, that would be some shit too, because clearly they made a point to be like, no, victory is important, everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
That would definitely be cool. It's funny, the thing about Avengers No Surrender, people are getting so mad about Voyager, even still, and she hasn't even really been in the last couple issues. And they're like, oh, I'm so sick of them, pushing Voyager down our throat and making us like her. I'm like, dude, she's barely been in the book. What
are you
been
reading like something I've not been reading? And when she's been in the book, she's been like the transport for the team.
Yeah.
Like transporting them around, that's it.
Is this how cynical you are about new characters now that even one shows up? Furthermore, I don't think they're trying to make us like her at all. I think 4 issues in, and I think we're still supposed to be super suspicious of her.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think it just boils down to, like, it being, like, new hero vagina person.
Yeah, I don't like new hero vagina person. And it's like, guys, they did this with Blue Marvel and Sentry already. Did you not remember that? No, because I have a very short memory. I can only be mad about the things that are happening right now.
Those people weren't reading comics then.
No, probably not. That's the thing about working online and reading comments. You can't tell where it's like, are you 13? Are you 13 person right now? Am I really going to get mad and debate and give info dump to a 13-year-old? Because if so, I'll just stop. That should be a new rule in my new world order. Everyone's age should just float above their head.
Yeah, yeah. Like a Sims diamond.
Yeah. Yeah, their age should just float above their head at all times, so you know who you're dealing with and how you should broach that situation. Yeah, Avengers No Surrender, pretty fun, mostly an action-packed issue. The last couple have been. I'm interested for them to start doubling down again and doing some more story stuff.
Yeah, well, I think like the next issue they tease we might actually learn who the Challenger is, or like have like a big piece of his identity revealed.
Yeah, he's on the cover, right? I think I saw that.
He's either on the cover or like the whole story is about who he is.
Right, I'm down for that.
Yeah,
I'm super down for that. So, what else did you have this week, Matt? Anything worth noting?
I had the JLA Doom Patrol special.
Oh yes, Milk Wars.
Yes, Milk Wars, and it was just as insane as I thought it was going to be.
That's good.
It was bonkers, but I understood what was happening. I don't read any of the Young Animal stuff, so I was kind of afraid I wouldn't know what was happening, but totally understood. And the whole deal is there's this company called Retcon from the Young Animal books, and
get it, retcons.
Yes,
and they make retcons.
They do. That's the thing. They deal in reality estate.
Oh, nice.
And they're trying to sell Earth Prime land to this guy called Magna Khan. He's like this evil villain guy, and they're trying to convince him to buy Happy Harbor, which they've started changing, and what they've done is they basically boiled down what justice is like from like Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman into this milk which they feed people, and it turns these people towards their form of justice, and it's all like 50s nostalgia sort of thing. Right, like of course. The Superman analog is Milkman Man, who's literally like a milkman who force feeds these people the milk, and they've changed the JLA. They attacked the JLA and changed them all into the Community League of Rhode Island. And they're all
Good job.
like 50, like Lobo's turned into like this neighborhood watch guy called Carl Lobo, who wears like a sweater and a pipe and everything. And
Okay, you're selling me on this.
it's so cool. And the Doom Patrol obviously knows something fucky is going on here, so they go and investigate, and they get into a big fight.
Things are their wheelhouse.
Yeah, they get into a big fight. They eventually change the League back into who they are, and people who read Doom Patrol will understand this more. But the one of the, I guess, like the leader of the Doom Patrol, Space Case, finds out that Milkman Man was her son.
Oh.
But yeah, I had to look it up. She apparently like gave birth to someone, but it was nothing. She like gave birth to nothingness, and Retcon somehow got hold of that and melded it into Milkman Man. It's so fucking weird.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And I'm like, that's so weird, but I'm interested. I'm gonna keep reading these books. And then Cave Carson turns up at the end and is like, something's fucky going on. Come help Swamp Thing and me.
Right, because it's all of these different weird young animal books together.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Because I saw everyone tweeting about it this week. Did Flex Mentalo show up in this?
Yeah. He's a member of the Doom Patrol.
Oh, shit, he's actually a member now. See, that's how far I haven't been reading. But, he's an actual member now. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's just running around and he's, leopard skin mankini thingy.
Yep. But Flex Mentalo, so named because that's what Grant Morrison at that age thought a cool superhero name would be.
yeah, it's so crazy, and I'm really interested. There's one more part to this event, and then there's like the offshoots, the like Batman and Shade the Changing Girl, whatever it is, and all that sort of stuff happening. But yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, to DC's credit, again, we were talking about our like apprehension in New Age of Heroes. It seems like Young Animal has actually found its footing and actually kind of knows what it wants to be and where it's going.
Because it's so weird and different.
I think that helps. Unlike New Age of Heroes, where it's like, oh, this isn't new and different. This is just a slightly toned down version of what I already know and what I'm already used to.
Yeah, like I have no idea what the hell was going on in Young Animal, but now I really want to find out. If they ever made like just a book about retcon, that would be amazing. That whole concept of retcon intrigues me.
Yeah, it's a cool idea to be like, there's actually a serious like thing that exists that doles out retcons. Drink your retcon juice, everybody. What else did I have this week? I had so fucking little this week.
Did you read the Flash War prelude?
No, I didn't, but I did see that page there with the flashback to be like, hey, everyone, maybe Cyborg was on the Titans.
Yeah, though it is a pretty good prologue. I'm just trying to wonder why it's out this early. The event is still 3 months away.
Gotta get you excited for it.
Yeah, but by the time that cut rolls around, people will be like, oh yeah, that's an event.
I forgot what happened. Oh, wait, I did read Detective Comics Annual this week.
Yeah, that was like origin of like Clayface, wasn't it?
Yeah, like a redo of his origins, like a Clayface secret origin. It was solid, very sad and depressing. Yeah. I would say it's a shoo-in for Feel Bad Comic of the Year. They actually do a really good job molding a bunch of different stuff from like Basil Karlo's old original Golden Age incarnation and kind of updating it for modern times. If anything, they kind of divorce him from like Matt Hagen and Cassius whatever and all the other people who have been Clayfaces to be like, no, there was only one and it was only Basil.
That's good. I like that they put some time into like updating his origin, and like they could have easily just left him and be like, no one cares, but like, no, we care about this character and we're going to make people care about him.
Clayface is so interesting because it's like everyone knows Clayface, everyone knows that he is like, one of the big guns for Batman villains, but even like the most hardcore Batman fans, like, there's been like 7, right? Basil was the first one. Then you have Matt Hagen, which the only reason I think people know Matt Hagen was because in Batman the Animated Series, they fused Basil Karlo and Matt Hagen together and made them one character.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, they had one that was a treasure hunter, one that was a cop, there was a lady Clayface, I can understand why James Tynion was like, you know what, no more, no pun intended, muddying the waters. There's been one Clayface, and it's been Basil.
I think that woman Clayface is going to come out soon because she was mentioned in Doomsday Clock issue 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Very interesting. Well, no, I'm not talking about Mudface. I'm talking about there was a actual lady Clayface.
Okay, what was it? Mudface who was mentioned in it?
Mudface was Basil's girlfriend who got the shit spilled on her and ended up joining the victim syndicate.
Okay, yeah, no, it wasn't Gloria Griffin that they mentioned.
Oh, it was another one.
It was someone. Okay, I'd have to look up my issue. It's in my stack at the moment, but yeah, and they mentioned someone.
Maybe it was the actual Lady Clayface. What's cool about it is that in his redone origin, Basil talks about how he turned down like a big summer blockbuster because he wanted to do like this weird niche horror movie wherein a special effects guru goes around and kills all the young actors who are doing a remake of one of his classic films.
Yeah, yeah.
That was Basil Karlo's original origin in the comics. And I'm like, oh, nice putting it all together. They even mentioned the Daggett Corporation and the Renew Cream and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So we get a lot of nice little references up in there. But yeah, that one was good, and like it very well could be the last word they write on Basil Karlo Clayface because we don't exactly know if he's alive or dead at the moment in Detective Comics.
No, we don't.
No, literally last week or 2 weeks ago now, the final image we saw of him was catching a bullet in the head from Batwoman. And it's like, well, that might be the end of him. Time for a recruitment drive for this team.
Yep.
And if that is the last thing we read on him, then you know what? Good on him, because that was like very, very well done.
It was. I really like what they did with Clayface in this book.
They made you care. They made him sympathetic. They made you feel bad for him, and that's really the most you can do.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like this annual even tied in very close to that because, like, his dad kept saying, you know, don't let them see your monster, son. Don't let them see, you know, all the bad stuff you keep deep inside. Which is what he did, which is why they shot him. So, oops. What else did we have? I had Invincible Iron Man this week too, but it's barely worth talking about anymore.
It's not.
It's really not. Like, again, I joked a couple weeks ago to you, Matt, where it's like, man, this book feels like Brian Michael Bendis took all of, like, his story notes. He took all of, like, his sticky notes and all of, like, his scribblings on bar napkins for story ideas. And then he's just like, oh, what's that? I'm being hired by DC. Well, tell you what, artist, here's all my notes. You figure it out. It literally feels like that he just handed it out. And it really felt like that in this issue, because literally during the infamous Iron Man portions of it, there's like little boxes. Like the whole thing was supposed to have no dialogue, but there's a bunch of little like dialogue boxes, and it is written totally like a script where it's like, oh, and you know, infamous Iron Man wields up to punch the bad guys because he's so cool and so tough. And I'm like, oh, they need to actually put context in this scene because Ben just didn't write me context for it.
Oh, God.
It's like they just printed his notes.
Yeah. That's probably depressing. What they... Like, oh, fuck, he's gone. What do we do now? Well, he left this, like, bag of notes next to the bin.
It's even worse because it's like, okay, so Tony Stark has technically been back since this story started. He's just been lying on the ground this whole time.
Yeah. How many issues? Like 4 issues? He's just been lying there?
Too weak to move. He's hallucinating people from his past. And this week he hallucinates his dad, who apparently he's mad at for not telling him he was adopted. And all I can think is like, oh my God, are we still on this Karen Gillan shit?
Yes,
where he was adopted,
yes, we are.
and his fucking brother Arno Stark, who hasn't been seen in forever because apparently we forgot about him.
He hasn't been seen. Was he in like Secret Wars?
Nope.
No.
Well, he might have been. He might have been in one of the like Secret Wars tie-ins.
Okay.
But no, I think that was the last time we saw him. He just flew away.
Yeah, no one gave a shit about him.
Nope, no one gave a shit about that Gillen run at all, and like he invented all this new shit. Like I'm surprised Bendis didn't junk all of this. Why of everything he's chosen to go back to, he's gone back to this?
Well, you see, that was like the he knew he was on his way out. And it's like, I don't want to write anything. I'll just like dredge up this shit no one gives a shit about.
Well, it's even funny because like Tony's on the ground, it's like you never told me I was adopted and blah blah blah, and my new mom and my old mom, blah, 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 blah. And it's like even his hallucinations. Like, are you really still upset about this? That happened in International Iron Man, man. That was a totally different book than this. Why is this now the main thing you're upset about? It's funny too. The one like actually kind of interesting thing about it is that they repossess Riri's Iron Man tech because she was like fighting them forever because it's like, oh well, you technically built that with Stark material, so it doesn't belong to you, and if you don't give it back, we'll fuck up your mom's house and we'll fuck up this neighborhood. And she's like, fine, take my goddamn suit, take my blood if you want. And she's going through like that moment that all superheroes go through, that like Spider-Man no more moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she calls up a college and she's like, yeah, hey, I'm ready to accept your. And then Blade comes in and says, hang up the phone. Whatever you're doing, I promise what I'm going to pitch you is way better.
Oh, God. Blade, he's just been hiding out in that Spirits of Vengeance book that got cancelled. Yep. And then, just. What was he got to fucking do?
Remember me? Remember Blade?
What the fuck is Blade got to do?
How is Blade involved in this? I don't know. How are vampires involved? I don't know.
See, the vampires, they're in the Stark Industries board, and that Lindsay's a vampire. And
man, if that's the twist, that literally the reason the Stark board of directors are evil and stupid is because they're vampires, I'm going to be like, you know what? You kind of saved it.
Yeah, it just goes ball to the walls, like insane. It's like, this is so stupid. It's awesome.
They've been vampires all along. That's why. That's why they wanted Tony out. That's why they wanted all this.
They want the suit back so they can make anti-Blade armor and be vampires in Iron Man armor.
Yeah, you see, they want the armor tech so they can cover their hearts with it and put like anti-sun-blocking rays in it so Blade can't stab them in the heart. It'd be funny if Blade 2 was like, hey, I was supposed to have a daughter and a whole new solo series, but that got canned. Would you like to be my new adopted daughter now, Riri?
This is the point they've run out of all the Bendis stuff. It's like, okay, what else is in the bin? Oh, there's Blade stories. Oh, just fit it in. Just fit it in.
Yeah, hey, we have this Tim Seeley pitch for Blade that we got really scared about and never actually ended up making. Okay, let's do that then. It's even worse is that they've already come out and said Tony's Iron Man again in issue 599. Wait till issue 599.
Yeah, so like you might as well just like not read anymore until that issue because the book is doing nothing.
It is spinning its wheels. It's not doing anything, and that's a shame. Because if you remember, if you go back to those original issues, you and I were a booster of this. We're like, yeah, hey, this is pretty fun. This is pretty interesting. Bendis is making a point of being like, yes, this character was thrown into the thick of it too early, and it's a sink or swim thing. They kind of did an Incredibles deal where it's like, oh, if Tony was a kid in this day and age, and if he was really smart, they don't really let smart kids succeed all that much. They're always trying to dumb them down and everything. And then it went off the fucking reservation and it never came back.
Yeah, like the only thing that's really kind of like passable about these books is like the little infamous Iron Man portions you get.
And even that have gone downhill in a huge way.
Even that's like spinning its wheels.
Like literally there's a point in this issue where it's like, oh no, Victor was touched by the Corruptor. Will he become evil again? No.
Yeah. Okay then.
And then the Hood shoots the Corruptor because Victor made him do it. How did he make him do it?
Yeah, it just disappears.
He just did it. Boop. Boop. Just Victor Von Doom becomes Archer. Hey, boop. Boop for you, the Hood.
Oh god.
But yeah, that's Invincible Iron Man. It's not great.
It's not. It's terrible. It's probably going to get better once Dan Slott gets on the book. When's he coming in? Is he on 600?
I think it's 600. Yes, I think 600 is him.
Okay.
Which I bet Marvel never thought they'd hear people saying that. Please save us, Dan Slott. You're our only hope. I can't wait till Dan Slott takes over this book.
Oh god.
Dan Slott had an amazing tweet. God, I love that man sometimes, where he's talking about fans' fears for him taking over the book, where they're like, oh no, is he going to have like the Mandarin hop inside Tony's body for like 30 issues, and is that going to be the thing? To which Dan Slott says, now, children, come on, give me some credit. I'm not going to use old tricks to make you hate this book. I'm going to come up with whole brand new tricks to make you hate this book. And I'm like, God, that's why you're a writer, man.
Yeah, I love his Twitter so much. It's so good.
It's a must follow for any comic book fan. It's wonderful.
Oh, God.
It's wonderful. He's also one of the guys too where it's like, well, Dan Slott is mean to people on Twitter. I'm like, only when people are being shitty to him.
Yeah, he has every right to be.
Again, like, what's this thing like? What? Just because you're a creator, just because you work online, you have to internalize all the abuse and take it with good charm?
Yeah, it's insane.
Clearly, these people never heard of the old Irish adage, talk shit, get hit, son.
I think a lot of people are like, they're kind of angry because he actually responds to them and like doesn't like roll over to them. He's like, no, fuck you.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you weren't supposed to respond to me. You were just supposed to absorb my abuse.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Also, not only did you respond to me, but you totally burned me. Again, don't fight a creative writer in a war of words. Seriously. That is literally bringing a knife to a gunfight. But yeah, did you read anything else? Because that's basically everything I had this week.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing catch up on some of the books I've got at the moment.
Yeah, same here. I read half of Deathstroke, and half of Deathstroke Annual is fucking nuts. So Defiance, his good guy team, is breaking up as it had to, because obviously if you've seen the next Batman versus Deathstroke thing, he's back in his old costume.
Yeah.
But it's interesting the reason it broke up. It broke up due to no fault of Deathstroke himself. It's just all the team members were super volatile. Because it was his family and these wayward teens and everything, and it's like, yeah, of course that's why it would break up. Yeah. Hilariously, Christopher Priest, because he brought back Power Girl, like the second Power Girl 2, to be part of the team. She kind of fucks it up hilariously, because she's like, I don't really like hanging out with Jericho if he's going to bring his gay lovers over to the to the hide. I'm like, oh, you bitch. And she says that to his mom, and the mom, Adelaide, is like, you bitch. A, that's my son. B, go fuck yourself. That makes you uncomfortable, but you're fine with Deathstroke killing people and toppling regimes just so you guys can have missions. And she's like, oh no, I didn't know about that. And then she like throws herself at Wally too, because it's like she actually had a crush on Jericho, and the reason she's saying that is because she didn't know he was gay, and that's why she's all upset. And so she throws herself on Wally too, and Wally's like, whoa, I'm going back to join the Teen Titans now. like they invited me back, so I can try and put in a good word for you. And he does, and Damien's like, nope, fuck her, fuck Skeeter, fuck Bunker, fuck all those other Libdell era characters.
Yeah, Damien only wants John on the team.
Yeah, I only want my best friend John, who I love more than the rest of you, Judas. I'm like, yeah, Damien doesn't even like the people who are on this team. And it's fun. I guess Christopher Priest is like setting the seeds for that Batman versus Deathstroke thing, because Wally comes back to the Titans and he's like, Jesus Christ, Deathstroke and Damien are more alike than they're not. They're both dictators, but at least I had more freedom with Deathstroke. Deathstroke was a hands-off dictator. Damien is a very hands-on dictator. But yeah, that was fun and slightly interesting. And by the end, it's literally just Deathstroke and Terra.
Okay.
And Deathstroke's like, this is fucking awkward. And Terra, there's literally a line where Terra goes, hey, I'm legal now. And he's like, stop saying that.
Yeah, Deathstroke didn't like hearing that.
No, he does. That's my least favorite thing to say. It doesn't work for Slade when you say, and it's even more fucked up because Terra's on the team because his wife invited her to be on the team.
Jesus Christ.
To get to him and to like fuck him up, and Deathstroke's like, I know what you two are up to. You're trying to fuck me up, but that ain't gonna work. And I'm like, God damn, this book is so weird and so dark and so adult, and it takes on an even another dimension when you're like, Christopher Priest is an actual priest. He's an ordained priest, and he's writing this. It's like this is how Christopher Priest gets his own evil and sins out by writing these horrible, irredeemable characters. Like, everyone is hateful, everyone's a monster, and I haven't even gotten to the end of it yet either, but I think he's implying that the original Power Girl might be coming back and using Power Girl 2 as a vessel.
Really?
Yeah, that she might be breaking back in from her universe.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's also some unresolved shit with like the Superman of China, Kong Keenan, because like Deathstroke's a wanted man in China and they've sent him to go collect him.
Yeah, Deathstroke was responsible for killing that Emperor Superman.
Oops.
And he attacked like Doctor Omen and all that sort of stuff. So
Well,
yeah,
then
him
that
and the
makes
rest of the Suicide Squad.
well then that makes sense then as to why he would have a bone to pick with him.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that was Deathstroke from this week, everyone. And I guess that's the show, everyone. This was kind of a different one, not a lot of news, but thank you everyone who put some questions in there. You really helped make this one. It's always fun to do that.
Yeah, it was a really good episode.
Yeah. Anything else coming out throughout the week, Matt, that you would like to tell people about?
No, just doing comic reviews and everything. I just hit 4,000 subscribers on my channel, so thank you everyone for that. I have been seeing a lot of new people, so yes, thank you for that.
Actually, I'm a little past 16,000 now. If I keep going at this rate, I'll hit 20 soon. Should we do something for the Cape Joel channel and Comic Multiverse for 20? I think we should.
Yeah, I think we should.
If I did like a live stream, we'd have to figure it out to how to get you in, because I would think it would be cool if we just like read fan mail and shit.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Did stream, we could take fan questions. We could play a game or something. I know people liked it when we pitched that Gambit thing. We should do something similar. We should be like, okay, let's write something.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Oh, hey, speaking of Gambit, again, I forgot to put this down because that's how little it mattered. The Gambit movie's dead, everybody.
Yeah, it's literally like they took it out back and shot it.
You're not gonna feel any more pain anymore, boy. I'd like to think it's our pitch that finally killed it, because again, we pitched it and then a couple weeks later it died.
Yeah,
I like to think
that's way better than what we had. Just kill it. Yeah. Just kill it.
I like to think they heard our pitch, Matt. It made it to like the offices at Fox, and they're like, "Oh, well, that isn't even half as good as what we're writing. Shut it down, boy. Shut it all down. Set fire to the set. Let Channing Tatum back into the wild."
Yeah, just release him out the back of the studio. into the woods.
They've had him chained there for months. No, you know what I would love that killed it? Was like, okay, Channing, we keep delaying this movie, man, so you can get that Creole accent working. How is it? My name is Gambit. My name is oh, God damn it.
My name is Gambit.
He can't do whatever Channing Tatum cannot do accents. It's just impossible. Why did we agree to make this? Again, just strike it all. Strike it all. Fire the interns. You just see people like stealing from craft services, just jamming everything in their pockets. Oh, fuck. And thus ends that. So, yeah, that's the show, everybody. Can't say we shortchanged you on this one, everybody. Can't say you didn't get exactly what was on the tin.
No.
Also, thank you for 86 episodes. We're nearing 100. So I wonder, will I hit 20K on my channel first, or will we hit 100 episodes first?
Ooh, we're on episode 86.
We'll probably hit 100 episodes, unless I purposely stall it by throwing some commentaries in there. which I almost did for this week when nothing was happening. I'm like, fuck, is it too late to do a commentary? We actually have a special commentary we want in mind. We want to do that new Power Rangers movie because it's been sitting around there, but we want to get some special guests for it. But once we get that in order, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if some old faces show up to talk Power Ranger shop.
Yeah.
And with that, everyone, that's the Comic Multiverse for the week. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. Check Matt and myself out on Twitter so you always know what's coming out next. If you're a patron, you'll get to listen to this first, both in audio and in video form. Although I'll actually be a little late this week because we had a bit of a tech fuck-up. But once that's settled, you'll get it. And you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and it really helps me and Matt out. So with that out of the way, everyone, I have been Joel.
I'm Matt.
And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.